Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Friday Food Fight. I'm Bart Christian, your host for this week, and we are joined once again by Bart Christian, nationally recognized speaker, and a very special guest. And we hope that everyone enjoyed the long holiday break. And I'm going to turn it over to Bart here and let him introduce our special guest and welcome us back to another episode of Friday Food Fight.
Wes, it's great to be here, and it's great for the new year to be here. I'm excited about it, and I have the, I've said this before, but oftentimes we'll have guests on the show that just make me feel old, and I've seen you and Erin grow up in the industry. You from a little kid, and Erin from to me a little kid too, and but she wasn't. She was always a bright young woman who brought a lot to the table everywhere she was at, and I think, Erin, the first place we met was when you were an intern at Phoenix Elementary, many moons ago.
Yep, it was.
Yeah. And I know that I've watched. Say what?
I blame you for getting me here. I'm glad.
Well, I remember that conversation we had when you were thinking about what you were going to do. And I just, I'm passionate about child nutrition, and I know you are now too. And it's just a great industry for people to get into. And I kind of watch you blossom and go to work for the Department of Education, and then become a supervisor at a district, and then a director at that very same, and then move to as a director to another district, and then come back to Crieghton as the child nutrition director now. And you've been there for 5 years. And I think this, time flies. It just flies by, doesn't it?
It does. It does. That conversation I think we had many years ago when I was an intern, I was in the parking lot of a school district, and I was trying to decide where I wanted to head, and you definitely led me into school food service, and I have never left. I've loved it ever since.
Well, it's kind of like the mafia. Once it gets in your blood, it just sort of it doesn't let you go.
Yes.
And but I've watched you do a couple of things. I've watched you become a leader, not only in the state of Arizona with various positions on the state executive board, but also seen you become a leader on a national basis. I know that you serve on the membership committee for the National SNA. You're in the midst of running for a spot, and I just can't tell you how proud I am of you and the things you've accomplished. And I know I've got a chance to watch you grow up and have your family and get married, and I see that you got. I love your bio. You said you have an amazing husband, 2 crazy active kiddos, and 1 golden retriever. I think that's a good life.
It is a good life.
Amen.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, just to continue today's topic here, times this year with the pandemic still very much in play, it's can be challenging to wear on our employees. Tell me a couple of things that you've been doing over the course of this school year, really to just help with employee morale and to keep your staff positive and motivated as we come into the second half of the school year.
Yes, it has been a very trying year. Lots of ups and downs, lots of big emotional swings. And throughout the entire time, we've just been very cognizant about being in front of our staff. So both myself and our supervisors are frequently getting out there and talking to the staff. And I think our primary goal is always making sure that we're connecting with them, both personally and professionally, making sure that they're okay, and that they know that we are here for them, and we're here to listen to them about their concerns. We're here to talk through all these difficult situations and help them understand the situations so that they feel comfortable about coming to work. And if they don't, then we talk through the situation and we try to find the middle ground where we can. So that's been really one of the key things. We've been really, really fortunate in that we haven't lost any of our staff so far. Everybody has stuck around. Everybody's willing to come to work, and they've been working incredibly hard. The other thing is we just, periodically we'll go around and we take them treats. We'll go buy them donuts or bring them something special or cards or just simple messages along the way to just continue to keep their morale going. And just motivational stories, reminding them why we're here. They all know why we're here, but I think once they hear us say, at the end of the day, our mission and our job is to make sure that we're taking care of the kids in our community. nobody's gonna turn the door on that, or walk away from that. They're like, okay, I've got this renewed energy. I'm ready to do it again. And you're right. We're here for the kids, and they get back in there and they work hard again. So
Yeah.
it's a couple of the things that we've been doing.
Yeah. And I know with just some of the conversations I've had with directors and supervisors and just school nutrition,
Just stop professional development altogether because, oftentimes many of our kitchens, they aren't where we can send them to go get professional development. And sometimes a lot of our staff are intimidated by computers and computer screens and how to, log in, or comfortable with technology. And then we've partnered with our IT department and trying to get us some devices that can be put in our cafeterias so that we can start to work on more of the professional development. That we realized is we don't oftentimes get this type of freedom or this opportunity to take advantage of students in there, or without having to rush. We now have the capability of being able to really focus to work hard on that right now. One of the really cool professional development things that we did earlier on in this pandemic was, and it was actually through Southwest Training Systems. I'm not trying to make a plug here, but we partnered with you guys and we did the COVID Smart. We were one of the first school districts in the nation to complete it for our entire department. And one of the really valuable things that came out of it is that our staff felt valued. So trying to persevere and push through, we know it might be difficult to try and get professional development to our staff, but pushing through that really gave our staff really do care about them. And we do, honestly, we really do. And giving them some of the trainings and techniques on how to understand coming to work. And then it just, we're really working hard on training here, during this time. And we're really trying to make sure that the community is safe as well as of the community. So I don't know if I'm kind of dancing recently. One of
that we have to
your staff with everything that's going on?
See an employee leave because they're bettering themselves, not because they're unhappy. And we very rarely find an employee that's the in some security are distribution times. So half
IT partner with, or have you relied primarily?
the all of our curriculum are always saying continue the professional development and transportation, bus services, and
Talk to me a little bit numbers look like, and maybe some strategies or marketing,
different than what we would normally serve, but our reimbursement is just about matching where we would the supper and a snack. So when we do give out meals, we're handing out 7 days worth of meals, and it's 3 meals and a snack all in one bundle. So because of that, our reimbursements have really normal school year. That's just been helped us some of our losses. I think we've support from the district in advertising on like the district's Facebook page. Go out to the locations. We always send our staff in
kind of washing out with the participation.
On some of the districts where with these districts has during that time. We didn't have to pay for participation in the meals that we served at just the bus stops alone covered well over what we needed to cover the cost of just the bus driver. So I think sometimes it's very if you did have the first few days, it's usually actually gotten to the numbers that we need. But we've also said that if we don't, we'll pull this stop back and we'll try a different location. And the goal has always been to, obviously cover our costs because that's what we need to do. But we also want to partner with so.
And you and
So definitely our Facebook pages have helped.
okay.
And then the district has a notification system where
How did you accumulate the parents? I mean, is that something that they put on their applications, or they put with the school district? Interesting. I'm not that.
management system, when families enroll, they have to provide their contact. but that's been a big success. I think a lot of districts fairly accurate in our student management systems, and I think we're starting to.
I want to shift gears just a little bit. I want to know a little bit more about menu planning and you have
Very different. Very beginning, I think, just like everybody, we had like a 1 day's notice. We were all purchase it, but we had to purchase bags to individually wrap entree items and things like that. So that was one major shift. And we continue to use that just because I think, just like, manufacturing, that's what they had ready for us. So that took some time for everybody in the industry to make the shift, but we've all gotten there. And I think now many of us are balancing between usually wrap.
what type of feedback are you getting from students, and how are you collecting that feedback on the items that you're providing? And then the second part of that would be, what types of individually wrapped items are you seeing that are really successful?
Feedback is just when they pull up on curbside, we try to chit chat. What are you liking? That kind of thing. It's the standard normal things. Pizza. It's the normal. You can pretty much any entree individually wrapped, and right now our distributor has an individually wrapped entree item, and it kind of fits in the menu, and it's within a reasonable cost. We take it and try it, just because that's just what we need right now. Always had, and we've been able to shift our operations so that we can start to wrap some of our bulk items. Sorry, I think that's my phone. I'll try to.
Hey, business. Let me ask you a question about menu planning. I know some of the districts are providing dinner, or they're providing limited food, like maybe just breakfast and lunch, maybe no snack. And I know that a lot of that has been how do I that? And would you give to districts that are contemplating that, but just aren't sure how to menu plan it?
Yeah, I think it's scary, especially if you've never done it. There's the paperwork at the state level that you got to complete. Again, there's all these like roadblocks to take a deep breath and let's. I feel like worth it to any district and to your community and your kids, because it gives you the reimbursement, to help the losses that we're all seeing in participation. So bringing secondly, it's keeping our employees employed. So I've not had to furlough any employees. I've not had to make any of our employees work from home. I've not had to lay off any employees. And in fact, we've been able to keep their shifts pretty filled with work. So definitely. Say, because it's real. We don't need to recreate wheels. We need to find ways to keep our employees working. Has been our primary goals throughout time.
Yeah, and the reality is that I think you brought this up yesterday. Is the reality is if you're in a metropolitan area or you're not if you have a neighboring school district that's offering supper, that's offering snack, you're probably using similar distribution chain, or probably using the same manufacturer. So why not just, I hate to use the word steal, but borrow the complete menu from meal pattern and that kind of thing. And so why reinventing I think that you just brought up a great point. The barriers that are
Absolutely. If you've got two districts following a very similar or if the exact same menu, it's a win-win for everyone. It's easier for the manufacturer to plan. It's
Absolutely. Well, you've mentioned a couple of really great, I guess, unique things about the district that you were doing this year. Everything from, participating in the COVID Smart course to really taking a text marketing approach, marketing strategy. Are there any other unique items that you would like to really share with people that you're doing in your district?
So this isn't across the district. We have one site, and it's probably more than one that's doing it, but and a first grader, and they just can't leave the kids at home alone. So we've been working with I don't want to advertise that we can do this or broad enough that we can reach almost every situation that we can think of, but there's always been unique for us. I feel like I'm sure it's not going, but we contemplated doing door-to-door services. Either step away or can't get to one of the distribution times.
Mm-hmm. Your district and really, I guess, how did you handle that if you did?
We have, yeah. We have had some cases. We have a just like everyone, we have a mitigation plan, and we go through the steps of the mitigation plan that the district has in place. We're very careful. We're making sure that we're keeping track of, contact tracing. Or positive. I think I mentioned earlier some safety nets. So we aren't operating curbside services at two of our sites, so that if we have cases that happen or we try to avoid bringing staff into another kitchen for that. Say shifting. But yeah, we have. And how are we going to handle this? And it's, again, we have to persevere, and we have to take a deep breath. My team and I always sit down and plan is, okay, we want to make this happen. This works. We worked out all the plans. Now, what's our backup plan if somebody gets sick? And then we develop a backup plan so that it's always achievable once we get things in motion. So always have backup plans.
Got to have a backup plan, and then a backup plan for the backup plan. Closing thoughts or words of wisdom, words of encouragement that you'd like to leave everyone with today?
I'm so proud of this industry. It has been really amazing to watch how all of us have just risen to this, challenge and have accepted the challenge. And I feel like we're defeating it. I keep saying we can't feed all of the school nutrition professionals out there. You guys are amazing. Amazing. Don't let those roadblocks get in the way. That's just like how we're defeating everything else, right?
I those people that are wondering, how am I going to get through the little bit, call in a neighboring district that I can't imagine.
Well, thank you both for being on the show again. I really appreciate it. Erin, it's always great to talk. Good to see you. And this has been another episode of Friday Food Fight. Tuning in.